our last session, we read a letter from a man who asked how he should talk to his daughter-in-law, Claire, who was being critical and angry in the way she was treating her 8-year-old daughter, Megan. I suggested that although normally we like to avoid intruding in other people's affairs, the law of choice, he could love and teach her. Now, back to the writer of the letter. The next time you visit their home, arrange a time to visit with Claire when you won't be interrupted. Tell her something like this, quote, "I'm sure you know that I've always had the greatest affection for you and for Megan. And for some time I've noticed that you two tend to get into conflicts pretty easily. Is that something that you've noticed too?" End quote. You're not criticizing or blaming her. You're simply making an observation, and you're giving her an opportunity to comment on it, perhaps even to vent her frustration about it. She may well say something like this, quote, "Notice it? Are you kidding? That child makes me crazy sometimes. It's like she doesn't listen to a word I say, and then I have to get angry and yell at her before she'll do a thing." End quote. And that is when you have an opportunity to ask her if she'd like to hear some things that you have learned. You might say something like this, quote, "I completely understand. There are few things more frustrating than a child who won't listen. And if you're like me, I wasn't taught anything about how to deal with that. I wasn't taught how to be a parent. I thought if I just raised my voice and tried harder to control my children, I'd be more successful. But I've learned some things about children and about people that have made me feel very foolish about the way I've treated people all my life, and especially about the way I raised my children. I have no desire to intrude on what you're doing. It's none of my business. But if you'd be interested, I've learned some things that I think would help you a lot with Megan. You would find your job much easier and a great deal more fun, and Megan would respond better too. But I offer it only if you wish. Your choice." End quote. You'll discover in a heartbeat whether Claire is open to learning anything. If she's frustrated with Megan, the odds are high that she'll be interested in something that might help. She'll be more likely to listen if you have no agenda, if you have no investment in the outcome. If she's willing, you'll sense it, you'll see it in her face, she'll demonstrate it to you instantly. Then you can begin to teach her a little about what real love is. Then tell her why anger is so damaging to a child. Then introduce the Real Love in Parenting book to her. Throughout your conversation, emphasize that she has made no mistakes with Megan intentionally. Talk about your own mistakes as a parent. Make her feel good about herself, because if she feels guilty, she'll tend to shut down and won't listen to a word you're saying. What you're offering Claire, and secondarily to Megan, is a precious gift. Your letter, what you wrote to me, that you would even consider doing this, is evidence of great love and courage on your part. I wish you well.